Meanwhile, even some of the most critical historical Jesus scholars will acknowledge certain facts about Jesus. That he was baptized by John the Baptist, that he had disciples, that he was known as a miracle worker and an exorcist, that he believed he played a crucial role in the coming of the kingdom of God, and by crucifixion. The scholarly consensus on Jesus' death arises from having a variety of ancient sources. There are Christian, Jewish, and Roman sources reporting Jesus' death. So, Jesus' death isn't simply a point of Christian doctrine, it's a fact of history, as even non-Christian scholars. New Testament scholar Gerd Ludemann declares that Jesus' death as a consequence of crucifixion is indisputable. John Dominic Crossan of the infamous Jesus Seminar says that there is not the slightest doubt about the fact of Jesus' crucifixion under Pontius Pilate. Marcus Borg, another member, that Jesus' execution is the most certain fact about the historical Jesus. Jewish scholar Pinchas Lapid affirms that Jesus' death by crucifixion is historically certain. According to Paula Fredrickson, a convert to Judaism, the single most solid fact about Jesus' life is his death. Roman prefect Pilate, on or around Passover, in the manner Rome reserved particularly for political insurrectionists, namely crucifixion. And as everyone's favorite scholarly critic of Christianity, Bart Ehrman, maintains, one of the most certain facts of history is that Jesus was crucified of Judea, Pontius Pilate. The real question, then, is whether Jesus was alive again later. How would we know if Jesus was alive at some point following his execution by the Romans? The same way we know many other things from history. We need witnesses, and we need to know that we can. Do we have witnesses of the risen Jesus? Yes, lots. Fortunately, they began preaching almost immediately, and we have summaries of some of their early sermons. They issued official creedal statements that could be easily memorized and passed on to others. They sent out traditions that would eventually be incorporated into the Gospels and other writings. Can we attribute them to deception? Were the disciples lying about the appearances? That's what I thought before I was a Christian, but there's a fatal flaw in the deception. Make poor martyrs. While some human beings are willing to die for what they believe in, I've never met anyone who was willing to die for something he made up. So the apostles didn't just preach that they had seen Jesus alive again, they were willing to endure prison, floggings, and even death. Means they really believed what they were saying. Here again, it's not just Christians who draw this conclusion. Even non-Christians maintain that the disciples sincerely believed that they had seen the risen Jesus.